Yes, Sarah Kaisara, you raise your hand. Is there anything that you would like to ask? You may unmute and ask me the question if you want.
Sorry sa tekan.
All right. Well, everyone else are connecting. Okay, everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good afternoon. um, I would like to welcome also Madam Christina, our English unit, head of English unit, who is also here. I'm very sure Madam Balkis will also join us very, very soon. Uh, she'll get ready soon, I'm very sure. Okay, and I would like to thank everyone for joining our session today. At first, our initial plan was to have the Road to PT3 writing session today as a physical session, but after considering the number of people will be involved, and after considering the the fasting month of Ramadan, so we decided to just do this online. But I hope everyone will pay attention very, very well, because yeah, I know writing is very hard to do online, right? So if you don't pay attention, you will not learn anything, and it's just a waste of your maybe 1.5 hours this afternoon. Okay, so today, sorry, I forgot to do the what the plan for today. We are going to look at or focus at paper, sorry, PE pula. Today we are going to focus on our writing paper, PT3 writing paper, which is paper 2. Okay, and I am sure your class teachers have started with revision on writing this week. This week we did reading, right? Reading part 1 until part 5, and you also had touched on the writing section, part 1 and part 2. I know Madam Balkis and Madam Christina have touched on those two parts, but for my classes, Berlian and Delima, we only managed to do revision on part 1 in class. But never mind, um, even though you have done it in class, but I'm very sure every time you learn, and when you hear something from other people, from new people, from another teacher, there must be something new that you are going to learn. Okay, so today our main focus is we are going to focus on part 2. Okay, part 2 of your writing paper, and we are going to look at the first is the um, question. Okay, first thing first, you are going to look at the question. So we are going to make ourselves familiar with the question. How does the question look, and what are the informations given in the question, and what are the things you need to do, you need to tackle, you need to understand. Okay, and the next one, I'm just going to remind you about how we actually mark your paper. What are the elements that we look when we mark your essay? So this is, we called it the assessment skills. I hope you can still remember. We have done this before. In fact, the materials that I'm going to use today are all from our online classes last year. So probably there's going to be a lot of, oh, I've seen this before. Yeah, I've seen this before. I know this one. I know that one, and on. So it's just like a recap about what you have learned before. So the assessment scale, I'm going to show it to you afterwards. And after we look at the assessment skills, I am going to show you the structure of our essay. The structure of your essay. Okay, if you can still remember last year, I show you one big burger. Right, I show you one big burger. Has some veggies and the patty, and also the bottom one. You also got another bread. The bottom part. So we are going to look at the picture of the burger. Yes. Anybody saying anything? Aaron Rafiq Hirman? No. Siapa tak tadi? Okay, never mind. I'll just proceed. Where were we just now? Here. So I'm going to show you the structure of your essay. Um, our suggestion on how you should develop your essay. What are the things you need at the beginning? What are the things you need to include in the middle? And what are the things that you need to include at the end of the essay so you can impress the examiner. Okay, and the last one, apa lagi ya tadi? Saya lupa dah. And the last one, oh, I want to highlight on cohesive devices. Okay, I would like to highlight on the cohesive devices. So this is very crucial for you to include in your essay. So your essay will look nice and the information will be easily understood by the examiner. So kalau kamu tulis panjang-panjang pun, but the examiner doesn't understand what you are writing, cannot see the connection between one point to another, so there's no point. So you have to make sure all the content is easily understandable um, by the reader. Okay, before I proceed, is there any question? I'll give you 5 seconds. If there's anyone would like to ask, you just raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So look at the attendance. So there are 114. I know some of you are still not here yet. Please tell them to join with their own device so I can record your attendance. If not, I just consider you as don't attend our session today. Okay, let's move on to the next part. Oh, I want to show you the question. The first part is the question. PI penulisan. Okay. So this is a sample from our final semester 2 2020. Okay, this is a sample from our final semester 2 2020. If I'm not mistaken, this is question for Form 1. Okay, but we didn't use this question last year because of the pandemic and you had all your examination online. So we just do this for exercise. Okay, so this is the part 1. I'm just going to zoom out a bit. Just a little bit reminder on part 1. This is what you are going to receive for part 1. Basically, you have here the what we call this, the short message, a message given by someone to you and you need to respond to the message here. Okay, and if you notice the box here ni, box yang dia bagi ni, it is given for a purpose. Okay, the box is given for a purpose because they want to limit you from writing too much. Okay, they want to limit you from writing too much. You should only write in 80 words. So because of that, we believe that you can definitely fit all the 80 words here. Okay, you should not exceed, you should not add more papers, no need, because we are sure that you can fit all the 80 words here. I'm very sure you have gone through this one with your class teachers. Yes, who's talking? You got any question?
Sir, you are
Sir, we
muted.
can
Sir, macam mic sir mute lah.
Sorry. Hit my microphone. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Sorry. Awesome. Okay. So if you notice here, it says
Yes,
here
sir.
that you should. Okay. Too much. Okay. You can mute now. You should only spend about
Sir, may I
35
ask,
minutes.
sir?
Yes. Who's there?
May I ask, if my words are more than 80, the marks will be is the mark will be affect?
Will be affected. I would say no. It will not be affected because as long as you write within the frame given, you should be fine. Okay. But I'm very sure you will not write too long until 150 words ke, for example kan. It should be somewhere around 80 to 100 maybe. Maybe 100 is maximum. It doesn't have to be long. And in fact, if you notice here, the marks is 20 also, but you only have 25 minutes to complete part 1. So I'm very sure you will not write too long. Okay? Refrain yourself from writing too much. Okay? Tahan diri tu because you need to focus more on part 2. Okay. Now we look at part 2.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Welcome. Siapa tu? Adriana. Okay. So for part 2, as you can see here, you are advised to spend only 35 minutes for this part. The reason why, if part 1 you have 80 words, you have to write 80 words. And part 2 you have to write 120 words. So it's logical that you have to spend more time on the second part rather than the first part. So the first part is 25 minutes and the second part should be 35 minutes. But from my experience, your seniors, they've finished both parts sometimes in even less than 45 minutes. That's very common. But in the end, the marks are not that good because after they finish everything, they sleep. They didn't even check their work. They didn't even check their essays. And when there are a lot of mistakes in the essay, then you will be penalized. There will be a lot of marks gone because of the mistakes that you don't correct. Okay, so it is very important for you to use all the time given. Make sure 35 minutes ni you use for planning, you use for writing, and also at the end you have to proofread. If you have extra a lot of time, then you have to proofread. Basically, you have to check your essay. Okay, if you don't check, I assure you that you will lose a lot of marks because of that. Okay, so I'll just clear this one first. So normally this is how the question is laid out. So it will give you like a statement on top. For example, here you went on a trip organized by the school. In about 120 words, write an essay about the trip. You may use the notes below to help you. Okay, this is also very important. Even though I know you understand that the word may means tidak wajib kan. Maksudnya tak perlu guna pun tak apa. But I do and we do suggest that you use all the notes given because the notes are there for a purpose. The notes are going to help you to have your essay in a good organization. Okay, it's very important for you to organize your essay well, and the arrangement of the points are going to help you to develop your essay very well. So it's very important for you to use every single points given, every single notes given. Okay, before I move further, is there any question? Anyone would like to ask any question?
No, sir.
No? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, no question. So let's move to the next one. Oops. Okay, so we ignore the question for a while. We go back to our earlier slide. Okay, as I told you just now, we know that we have to respond to the question, but we also need to know what are the things that you need to focus when you want to answer the question. How are you going to score high marks? Kan? How are you going to make sure that your essay is on the right track? That you have covered everything that the question asks, that you have given everything that the question wants you to write. Okay, so it is very important for you to understand the marking criteria, to understand how we actually mark your essay. So I'm going to show you now. This is basically not the marking criteria that is given to us. We have simplified, okay? This one here that you see in the table here is the simplified version, because I want to make sure that it's easily understood by you. Okay, this is the simplified version. Okay, let's go from the beginning. So if you want to score excellent marks for this section, you have to follow the suggestions in the assessment scales. Okay, inilah assessment scales di table tu. You must also include a few cohesive devices in your essay. This one we'll do in the next part. Okay, first of all, we have to look at the content. If you can still remember, whenever your teacher mark your essay, they will have the label at the bottom, C, CA, O, and L. Okay, so what are those things? C is for content, CA is for communicative achievement, O is for organization, and L is for language. Okay, the most important part of all of this, basically everything is important. Kan? All sections or all elements are very important for you to get full marks. Okay, but it is very important. The most important is you have to make sure you um, answer the question. Okay, that is going to be the content part. So if the question asks you to, for example, if the question asks you to give, to talk about a vacation, for example, if the question asks you to talk about vacation that you had before, then you have to write about vacation. If the questions ask you to write about your experience ataupun no, I think something else. If the question asks you about your ambition, for example, if the question asks you to write about your ambition, then you have to write about ambition. That is what we are looking for at the content part. Okay, so for the content, you have to make sure whatever that you write, whatever that is given in your essay has to be relevant to the task. Okay, if you look back at the question just now, here you went on a trip organized by the school, write an essay about the trip. So here, for this question, you have to write an essay about your school trip. If suddenly you write about a family trip, suddenly you write about a family trip, then you will be penalized in the content section. Of course, you are not going to get full marks for the content section. It is very important for you to follow the instruction. Okay, your content has to be relevant. Your content is relevant only when you respond to what is asked to you. Apa yang diminta kamu tulis, kamu bagi. Okay, so that's for the content part. The next one is communicative achievement. So when you go to communicative achievements part, I want you to focus on the word communicative. Okay, by reading the word communicative, we can understand that it's komunikasi lah. It's how you deliver your information. Okay, communicative achievement is how you deliver the information. Let's go through first. For communicative achievement, it says here you are using the correct conventions to hold readers' attention, such as the tone, the style of writing, the choice of words. Okay, those are very important. Those are the conventions. Okay, and the next one, it says here the ideas are straightforward and not too complicated to understand. Okay. Look at the first part. Here it says about tone, style of writing, and choice of words. So what it means here is, for example, if the question asks you to write a story, for example, not story lah, maybe I pick something else. if the question asks you to write a letter to your principal. This is the question, okay? This is the question. But suddenly in the answer, you write, yep. If you write a letter to a principal, then this one has to be formal, kan? This one has to be formal. The word you use, the tone that you use, the language that you want to include in the essay has to be formal. But suddenly, in your essay, you write a letter to the principal, but the language is informal. For example, suddenly you ask in the letter, how are you, Mr. Principal? Principal, contoh lah. Okay, so this is not the appropriate way to address ataupun untuk bercakap dengan seorang pengetua contohnya. So it is very important for you to get the right tone and the right style of writing in order for you to make sure you able to communicate your content, to communicate your idea very, very well. Okay. And then last part for communicative achievement, you have to make sure that your ideas are straightforward. You don't have to beat around the bush. Tak perlu pusing, but the ideas are not there. No, you just have to go straightforward and make sure the sentences, the words used are not too complicated. Gunakan perkataan yang mudah. Gunakan ayat yang simple. Okay? Nanti your cohesive devices will help you to make your sentences better. Okay. Again, before I proceed, is there any question you would like to ask? Maybe I can ask question to you lah. I want to check the understanding. I want to hear from siapa ni? Iman Kushairi. Can I have Iman Kushairi?
Yes, sir.
Hi Iman Kushairi, how are you?
I'm good, sir.
Very good. Okay. Can you tell me how can you score full marks for the content section? Can you tell me how can you score full marks for the content section?
Come again, sir.
Can you share with everyone how can you score full marks for the content section, for the content elements?
Like making the paragraph following the task given.
Making the paragraph follow the task given.
Yes.
What do you mean by following the task given?
Like the task told us to make a vacation like essay, so we make the essay like a vacation like essay too.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Iman Kushairi. I know that you are
Okay,
following us. You are following the explanation. Thank you, Iman
Okay,
Kushairi.
sir.
That's good.
You're welcome, sir.
Okay. Well, okay. So let's move to the next part. Now, next part is the organization. Okay. For the organization part, let's go through together. It uses a variety of cohesive devices to add information, to compare, to give examples, and to write sequence. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to share with you the cohesive devices later, but I'm very sure if you can still remember, I'm very sure some of you would remember the examples because I've shared with you before. So it is very important, okay, for you to use proper cohesive devices to make sure your points are connected. Your ideas are well connected from one another. Okay. And also, I forget to mention here, under the organization, it's very important for you to use paragraph. Okay, having a reasonable number of paragraph is very important because you don't want to cram everything in 120 words. Sorry, you don't want to cram 120 words in one paragraph. It's going to be, one is annoying, it's going to be hard for the examiner, and your points would not be well arranged. Susunan dia nanti akan tak cantik. Kalau kamu buat semua dalam satu perenggan, dia akan, apa orang bilang, bidak. Di sini bidak, tidak cantik. Okay, and the last one is the language part. So for the language part, you have to use a wide range of vocabulary. Okay, it has to be straightforward and not complicated, but wide range, kena pelbagai, kena ada variety, and accurate grammar. Okay, accurate grammar is very important. That's why I always focus on grammar in class. Okay, and you also can include some interesting idioms or expressions for merit. We might not be able to cover the idioms part today, okay, but I'm going to share with you some notes on that one later. Okay, so now let's move on to the next part. Before that, maybe a quick quiz. Again, I want to ask Nur Elinda Hidayah. Nur Elinda Hidayah. Are you here, Elinda?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Elinda, from which class?
To Zamrud.
To Zamrud. To Zamrud is with Madam Balkis. Okay, I got a question for you. How can you score good marks for the organization part? How can you score good marks for the organization part? I purposely hide the notes.
They arrange the paragraph.
Paragraph, okay. Is there anything else?
It's only.
That's only. Okay, thank you so much. There's another thing that I mentioned in the my presentation just now, but I want to ask another one. I want to ask Shahrizlan of Tumutiara. Best ni as budak lelaki ni. Shahrizlan.
Yes, sir.
Hi Shahrizlan.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Just now Elinda said that you have to have paragraph. What is another thing that you must do in order to score good marks for the organization part? Shahrizlan?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. How can you score good marks for the organization part?
Organization part.
Habis lah, Shahrizlan tak tahu. Dah lah Shahrizlan, I give up with you. I want to ask Avril now. Avril Esteli Rayner. Shahrizlan, mute your microphone. Avril? Okay, Avril, what is another way for you to get full marks for the organization part?
Use cohesive devices.
Use cohesive devices. Well done. Okay, thank you so much, Avril, Elinda, for sharing the answer. Okay, so now we are going to move to the next part. So we have done the marking criteria section. Okay, now we are going to look at the structure of an essay. Okay, this is the burger that I told you just now. If you can still remember, I know some of you are hungry, waiting for berbuka puasa, but this is the only picture I have now. Okay, so the reason why I put a burger because it looks like a structure of an essay. Okay, the burger itself, it has the top one, the top bread, and the bottom one, and in the middle, the best part is they have a lot of vegetables, and you can see here here's the veggie, then you get what is this, the cheese, and the best is the patty. Okay, the best is the patty. Okay, so the middle middle part is very important, but you have to also have the top and also the bottom part to make it a complete burger. So same goes to your essay. I know that we should focus more on the middle part, which is going to be your content paragraph. This is where you give your content, okay? But you also have to bear in mind that it is very important for you to focus on the top band, which is the introduction. Oh, sorry, the intro is there. And also the bottom band which is the conclusion. Okay, so even though you have your vegetables, even though you have your cheese, even though you have your mayo, the sauce, and also the patty, but if you don't have the top bun and the bottom bun, it will not give you a burger. It's just mere apa ni? Not a complete burger lah. So you have to have those things too in your essay. So that is very important for you to write your introduction properly and also end your essay with a proper conclusion in order for you to get a good essay like a complete burger. Okay, but how are we going to do that? Now we are going to look at this one. Okay. Okay, so in order for you to plan your essay, this is what we suggest to you. I'm going to read this one together first for you. Therefore, if you want to write an essay that is as good as the burger above, nampak tak? Essay yang sedap, essay yang bagus, essay yang very communicative and informative, you need to include the right and useful information. Okay, you have to make sure the things that you include in the essay are related to the topic. You have to make sure the points that you give should be related to the topic, and the information that you give should explain the what the question wants from you. And it in the situation where you have to give example, the example should be really helpful to help the readers understand what you are trying to write. Okay, so now let's read and understand the suggestions in the table below and apply them in writing your essay. Okay, so this is my suggestion. Whenever you want to write your introduction, okay, the first paragraph is the introduction. Or before that, I want to highlight on this part. For PT3 writing part 2, maybe we would suggest you to have about 4 or 5 paragraphs. So basically, introduction would be the first paragraph. And for the content paragraph would be 2 or 3 paragraphs. So I would just put 2 lah. So paragraph 2 and paragraph 3 would be your content paragraph. And the last one, for paragraph number 4 would be the conclusion. Okay, so basically this is the top bun. And these two are the middle part. This is where the veggie, this is where the patty, and all the accessories that you would like to include in your burger. And the last one is the bottom bun. Okay, it is very important for you to have all of these, for you to write in paragraphs, 4 or 5. So your essay, all your points are going to be well organized, akan berada dalam susunan yang sangat cantik and easy for the reader to understand. Okay, so let's look at the introduction part. For the introduction, we would suggest you to give general information. We suggest you to give general information about the topic. You have to mention the setting and topic based on the question. Okay, if you look back at this question, you went on a trip organized by the school. So for the setting, for example, you have to have the place. What is the place that you visit? What is the place that you go with your schoolmates, with your friends, with your teachers? Okay, and besides that, you also have to mention when. bila benda tu berlaku, kan? So place is where, when, and maybe you can give some information about who involved in the trip, siapa yang terlibat dengan trip tersebut. Okay, and you mention the setting and topic based on the question. So basically for this part is the general part where you introduce us to the topic. Okay, introducing to the topic. Introduction to the topic. Okay, moving on to the next one. For the content paragraph, we would suggest you for every paragraph you have to give the main point, and also you have all of the main points should be expanded and elaborated. Dia kena dihuraikan. Okay, you have to give huraian for every content point. Okay, and you can also add your own interesting information. So if there's any good examples, if there's any good information, you can include in the suitable paragraph. Okay, and the next one, you have to add new words and phrases. This one basically, this is what we talk about. Apa tadi? If you go on top, this is where you give a wide range of vocabulary under language. You need to have a wide range of vocabulary. Sorry, I think I muted. Oh, tidak. I thought it's mute. Okay. So for the new words and phrases is where you give good vocabulary. Perkataan-perkataan yang bagus untuk to explain your essay better. And we would suggest you to give a lot of adjectives, kata sifat. What is adjectives? For example, I have a big car. I have a beautiful car. I have a sports car. So big, beautiful, and sports, these are all adjective. Itu adalah sifat-sifat yang kita berikan. So the more adjectives you include in your essay, the better your marks would be. Okay, and the next one, the last but very important part also is you have to write short and long sentences. Kan? You have to write short and long sentences. Anybody can recall about the type of sentences that we learn in the class last 2 weeks? 2 weeks ago, all Form 2 students, we did different types of sentences. Okay, we did in class, we learned about how to write different types of sentences. Who would like to share with everyone? I open first. You should have learned in class. There are 3 different types of sentences that you covered in your lesson 2 weeks ago. I open for volunteer first. If there's no volunteer, I have to pick a few people. What? Sorry, not what. 3 different types of sentences. Types of sentence.
Compound sentence.
Can you please let me know who's talking there?
Zevi, sir.
Oh, ada yang kat tangan. Sorry, I didn't notice. Zevi, yes Zevi, can you give me one?
Simple sentences.
Okay, thank you so much. Simple sentence. I saw Anna Alina also raise her hand just now. Anna?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You want to give another example, another type of sentence?
Yeah, the other example is one sentence.
Another one is what?
Compound sentence.
Compound sentence. Okay, compound sentence. And another one, who would like to volunteer? Who would like to share? Sherweave. Sherwin?
Complex sentence.
Complex sentence. Well done. Okay, so now we know that you have learned three different types of sentences, and this is where it is going to be very useful for you. Okay, because if you can include both short and long sentences, kenapa saya circle sentences? Okay, if you can include both short and long sentences in your essay, that is going to be interesting for the readers to read. Okay, um, I think this is good to ask. What if you give me an example of a simple sentence? I saw Aiman tadi. Aiman, I don't know, maybe Aiman Haziq raised his hand. Maybe you can share with everyone a sample of a simple sentence.
Hi, sir.
Hi.
One example of simple sentences is Mia is riding a bike.
Mia is riding a bike. Okay, betul. Mia is riding a bike or riding a bicycle. That is a simple sentence. Well done. Um, who would like to try to give a sample of a compound sentence? Who would like to try?
Me mistake mal. Me.
Who's that? Who's that? Let me know your name.
Fayat. Fayat mistake mal.
Yeah, who's that? I cannot see. I don't know who's talking.
Fayat is talking.
Oh, Fayat. Sorry, Fayat. I thought saya. Yes, Fayat. Give me an example
Uh,
of a compound sentence.
an example of a compound sentence is she did not cheat on the test, for it was the wrong thing to do.
Jap. Kau ni Fayat. She did not cheat in the test. What was that after that? For.
For it was the wrong thing to do.
For it was the wrong thing to do. Wow, very long. What makes this a compound sentence, Fayat? Can you please let me know?
It has a coordinating conjunction.
Awesome. Which one is the coordinating conjunction here in your sentence?
For.
For. Thank you. That's good. So you have the word for. So make this makes this a apa tadi, a compound sentence. Thank you so much. Next, I think there's a lot more people raise their hand just now. I see Ezri Yapin. Ezri, are you with me? Ezri.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Ezri. I assume that you would like to try to give one example of a compound sentence.
Um, um,
How is it, Ezri?
My example is I love science, so I read a science fiction book.
I love science. I love science. So I
I
read.
a science
I read a
fiction book.
science fiction. Say SCIENCE science fiction book. Okay, saya tak tulis habis banyak. I love science, so I read a science fiction book. Which one? Which of the words here make it a compound sentence? Mana perkataan dia?
The connection word so.
Okay, so the word that you use here is the word so. The word so makes this sentence a compound sentence. So saya suka science, maka saya baca buku science fiction. Well done. Tadi I think I saw another one. Maybe Jane Olivia. If I'm not mistaken, Jane Olivia raised her hand. Hi Jane, are you there?
Hi, sir.
Hi Jane. Would you want to give a try?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Give me the sentence now.
I like to eat sushi and burger.
I like to eat sushi and burger. What makes this one a compound sentence?
Because it has N.
Okay,
In my
because there's the word and in the
sentences.
sentence. Okay, well done. So I'm very sure you have given you the full attention to your teacher while they are teaching in class, because you managed to do this very well. So just a little recap from what you have learned. So in order for you to make a compound sentence, you have to use this one. Fan boys. I'm very sure by now you should know what are the words from fanboys. Okay, it's already 3:15. I need to move faster. Okay. Um, Before that, is there any question that you would like to ask regarding the template of the essay ataupun the content? Anyone got any question? Banyak question? Matai.
Fatihah.
Where's Fatihah? I'll give 5 seconds.
No, sir, I don't have any question.
All right, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No question. We can move to the next slide. So next one, I think I've told you before, in order for you to score good marks in one element, you have to use cohesive devices. Okay. My question is, the phrase cohesive devices is mentioned in which element? Is it in content, communicative achievement, organization, or language? Who would like to try? In which of these
Mister.
elements? Yes, who's that?
Mister. Again, Equan.
Ikuan mana ni? Ikuan my homeroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Organization.
Organization. Well done. Okay, I know a lot of you want to try. So the phrase cohesive devices is mentioned in organization. Kan? Because I told you just now, organization is for when you can use proper what do we call that? Proper paragraph, and also when you use cohesive devices. Okay, and as you can see here, I just give a few examples from what I found online. The cohesive devices can be used when you want to give addition to your points. Kan? When you want to add more information, when you want to add more points, when you want to add more reasons, when you want to add more suggestions, you can use these words under addition. For example, moreover, additionally, furthermore, in addition, also, to, and as well as. Okay, ini maksudnya bila kamu mau tambah maklumat. Tambah info lah, I would say. Okay, and the next one, the second one is when you want to make comparison. Who would like to tell me what do you understand from comparison? What is it? What is compare?
Me.
I me. Okay, just say it, I me.
Yes, sir.
Ni mesti kawan-kawan main phone kan yang panas ni. Okay, what do you understand from the word comparison?
To show the difference.
Ya, to show the differences or the similarity kan, perbezaan ataupun persamaan. Basically compare is membandingkan kan, perbandingan. Okay, if you can see the examples here, we have similarly. We use similarly when you have two or more things that are similar to each other. And the next one, you have compared to. Compared to ni maksudnya dibandingkan dengan sesuatu. And likewise, also the same, equally, sama, also, and also in the same way. Okay, and the next one, number 3, you use cohesive devices when you want to give examples. I think I have highlighted this in my 2 berlian and 2 delima. So for example, if you want to give examples for any of your points in the essay, you can use this. For example, to illustrate. This is very nice, to illustrate this. And another one is for instance, such as, in other words, ataupun namely. Namely ni not widely used here, but if you can use it correctly, I'm very sure it would impress the reader or the examiner. Okay, and the last one for cohesive devices is for sequencing. What is sequencing? Anyone would like to try?
Penanda wacana.
Penanda wacana. Iya ke?
Iya,
Sequencing.
bot.
Penanda
Urutan.
wacana probably it's very general. Dia umum lah penanda wacana tu. Anyone sequencing?
Sir.
Yes,
Urutan.
LD. I think it's LD.
Yeah, me.
Yeah, what is
I
sequencing,
think
LD?
sequencing is to manage our essay. So it's more
It's
teratur.
more
Organized. Okay, so organized. It's more organized to use.
organized.
Okay.
It helps you to organize your essay. Okay, anybody else would like to try? Thank you, LD. That's a good try. You don't have to raise your hand, code. Maybe just say because Nur Fatihah.
Just like arrangement, sir.
Just like arrangement. Okay. Thank you so much. Ada lagi seorang highlight. Oh, tak. That is Fatihah. Okay, I think Fatihah's answer was closer to what it's actually mean. LD, it's not quite there, but it's almost. So sequencing is like the order. Okay. Basically the susunan lah. Okay, order ataupun susunan sesuatu. So normally we use sequencing when we want to apa you want to show steps. First you have to do that. First you have to do this. After that, secondly, thirdly, next, finally, and lastly. So these are example that the words that you use for you to show sequence ataupun for you to show order, turutan. Okay, order, susunan ataupun turutan sesuatu perkara. Alright. So this is under the cohesive devices. Before I move further, is there any question that you would like to ask? Anyone got any question? I think we can finish early today. 5 seconds. 4.
No, sir.
Yes, who's that? Oh no. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Okay, no question. So I guess we can proceed. Okay, so these are all my slides regarding this part 2, how you can tackle and how you should structure your essay. So I hope you know what to do by now. Now I want to show you an example of a question that I think we can try to brainstorm together. Okay, I've shared this one with my 2 Berlian and 2 Delima in class, and I think it's good if we can try to do this together here, because I'm going to show you the template of how we can plan to write this essay over here. Okay, let's look at the question. You and your friends have been talking about birthday parties. Okay, kamu dan kawan kamu telah bercakap tentang sambutan hari jadi. Okay, and in about 120 words, write an essay about a family member's birthday party. You may use the notes below to help you. Okay, one question I would like to ask. Whose birthday party you should write about for this question? Whose party you should write about? Who would like to try? Daphne Amanda. Hi, Daphne.
Hi, sir.
Hi, Daphne. So whose birthday party you should write about?
A family member.
Mustaqim's birthday.
Family members. Who is talking there? If I catch you, I will kill you. Okay, so it's a family member's birthday party. Example, Daphne? Can you give me an example?
Like sister or brother.
Sister or brother. For example, you can write about sister or brother. Can you write about your friend's birthday party?
No.
Of course not, okay? Because it is clearly mentioned here in the question. It says that you have to write your family members' birthday party. So, seorang je. Birthday party tentang satu orang family kamu. Okay? So, it is very important for you to respond, for you to answer based on what the question asks you to do. Okay, now let's go through all the 6 points given. So the first one, it says here, whose birthday party is it? So when it talks about whose, basically we have to mention siapa punya. Okay. You can either give name and you have to mention how you are connected to that person. Maybe he's your brother, or maybe she's your sister, or maybe she's your cousin, for example. Then as long as you mention who is that particular person. Okay, and the next one you have to mention about when. Okay, when ni maksudnya bila. Kan? Because there's the word when it was celebrated, so you have to bear in mind that this one has to be in past tense. Okay? This one has to be in past tense, so you should um, talk about a birthday event that has passed, yang telah selesai. So it can be, for example, last week. And maybe you can write about a birthday party that was held yesterday, semalam. Okay, so these are the things that you have to bear in mind. Okay, and next is you have to the place, kan, the tempat. It could be at your home, it could be at maybe a hotel, it depends. As long as you mention a specific place, then it is okay. Okay, next, what food was served? Can you give more than one food for this one? Can you give more than one?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
sir.
You can actually mention as many as possible, but not too much. Maybe I suggest you maybe 3 or 4. That should be fine. Okay. So you have to mention the type of food served. Of course, you would have cakes. And what else? Okay. Next, who came for the celebration? Who came? Who come, then you okay. And the last one, this is very nice. How was it celebrated? How can we respond to this one? How was it celebrated? I think this is interesting to hear your ideas. Anyone would like to share?
Sir, I would like to share, sir.
Yeah, LD. No response from LD, so I go back to Jane because I see Jane is raising her hand.
Hi, sir.
Hi Jane. So how Jane how are you going to celebrate?
By doing some activities.
Doing some activity. Can you name some activity that you would like to include?
Macam tukar-tukar hadiah.
Oh, you swap present eh. Tapi apa tukar hadiah with people? You just give hadiah for the celebrated. It's okay. Thank you, Jane. So you can do activities. Who else? Anybody else would like to try? Ezri.
Hi, sir.
Hi, Ezri. So how are you going to celebrate it?
By going on a holiday.
Doing what?
By going on a holiday.
I cannot hear because there are people behind you talking. Once again, Ezri,
By going on a holiday.
doing on a holiday. What do you mean by that?
Um, Probably celebrating it on a vacation.
Ah, okay, this is interesting. So you don't simply celebrate it at home, but you plan a vacation and celebrate the birthday during the vacation. This is interesting. I would love to see your essay on this one if possible. Okay, next, who else? Daphne, you still raising your hand. Would you like to say something?
No.
No, okay, please put your hands down. Fatiha.
Maybe watch some movies.
Wow, by watching some movies. After you eat, after the feast, after eating the cakes, then you can watch movies. That's also interesting. It doesn't matter actually, as long as you mention, um, excuse me, as long as you mention any activity that you do during the birthday celebration, then you should be on the right track. Okay. All right. So, well done. We have done this one. So now, oh, I should have showed you this one. Okay, so this is the my suggestion of a template that you can use when you want to plan your essay about the birthday party. Okay. So as you can see here, I break this essay into 4 paragraphs. Paragraph 1, 2, 3, and 4. And as you notice, paragraph 1 is the introduction as usual. And paragraph 2, I combine point 1, point 2, and point 3 together. Okay, for paragraph 2, I combine point 1, point 2, and point 3. So if you look back at the question, point 1, 2, and 3 are basically talking about whose birthday, when was it celebrated, and where was it celebrated. Siapa punya hari jadi, dekat mana, dan di mana. Okay, so that is going to be in paragraph number 2. And for paragraph number 3, I focus on point number 4, 5, and also point number 6. Okay? And not to forget, for both paragraph, you have to give elaboration for whatever that you write. Okay? I know it is going to be like a story, but you have to give details. For everything that you do, give the details. Give some elaboration. All right. And the last one, another important element is the bottom band is the conclusion. Okay, maybe in the conclusion part you can write about your hope, maybe about your feelings kan. You can talk about the feelings that you have after having the birthday party together with your family members and friends, for example. Okay, so now is there any question that you would like to ask? I open. We have reached our last part of today's session. Is there any question that you would like to ask? Okay, I give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, no question. So that is the end of my session for today. And I am going to leave you with a task that you have to do. I want you to complete this template. I'm going to share with you after this, okay? Via your class teacher. I want you to complete this template. I want you to copy this table in your writing book and complete this template based on the question about the birthday celebration on top here. Okay? So any question about the task? I want you to just complete this table. If no question, this is going to be your...
Sir.
Yes, Amsha.
LD.
LV.
Where the
The due
the
date.
submission, yes.
The due is before or on Sunday. Today is
Okay,
23,
thank
24, 25. Okay, 25,
Sir.
04, 20, 21. Submit to your class teacher. Okay, I see Amsha Sirhan is raising his hand. Why, Amsha? Do you have any question to ask?
Nothing lah sir sebab because LD sudah tanya due
Okay,
date.
he asked the question already. I think this is your concern, right? When is the submission? Don't worry, not today. I know it's Friday and you have a lot of things to do, a lot of games to play, right? So I give you ample time, plenty of time, and you should only submit on Sunday. So I just want you to complete the table, and you have to decide whether it is going to be in past, present, or future tense. And I want you to list the cohesive devices that you can use for this essay. Okay? So if there is no question from anyone, I guess it's a good time for us to take a picture. Can I have everyone to turn on the camera first? I am going to where is my pen? My snipping tool. I need everyone to turn on the camera. Everyone to turn on the camera. We take the together mode lah. Nazmi tidur eh.
No.
Kedapatan. Come on, more people coming, please.
I was taking notes the whole time. No, you see it like.
Take a picture of your notes and send it to me.
Okay, I can. I have the notes.
Alright, I'll wait for the notes. Okay, come on everyone, please tell everyone. Why there's only little? Mana lagi yang lain? Teman. The rest please wait. I want as many as possible so we can update. Damia, you need to come closer. Hey, is it Damia behind Fatihah? Wait guys, file, save as. Give me a moment. Okay everyone, say cheese. Say cheese. Hey Madam Christina, Okay, after this I give way to Madam Christina first. Okay, everyone please say cheese. Say cheesy. Yeah.
Cheese.
Cheese.
Yeah, I say first. Capture. Wait, everyone. This one is a bit too slow. All right. So thank you everyone. But before we finish our session, maybe I give way to Madam Christina if there's anything you would like to say to everyone.
Assalamualaikum and good afternoon to everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, madam.
Madam.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, madam.
Okay, good. Thank you. Just want to say, please follow whatever that has been given by Mr. Iqmal, and then to all Form 2 students, please use this in class and also in the upcoming exam next week. Okay, so if you follow this, I'm sure that everyone will get to score in their paper 2 writing. Okay, I think that's all about it from me lah. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you
Iqbal.
so Yeah, welcome. Thank you so much, Madam Kisina, for some words. I can see people are not focusing on our session. Um, Whatever it is, I just hope that you can do well in your exam next week. And make sure you use every single thing that we have shared to you in class and in this session, and please impress us with your good essay. Okay, so with that, I guess that is the end of our session, and I'm so sorry if there's any technical errors or if there's anything that is not clear on your side. I blame myself, and also I blame maybe the technology. Maybe there's some glitch or problem along the way, but yeah, we have to live with it. So that's it for today. Thank you so much. Bye, and assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.